Today on Tech Tool Tuesday, we're talking about vibe coding for Gemini for teachers with Alice Keeler. Remember, go to the webpage for this episode for a lot of amazing resources at coolcatteacher.com/E966.
This is the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with your host, Vicki Davis.
I am so excited today to be talking with my friend Alice Keeler. She is the queen of spreadsheets, and yes, Google gave her that name. And she has her cat on camera. For those of you who are watching YouTube, well, I am the Cool Cat Teacher, so there you go. She is a mom of 5, author of 8 books. She blogs at alicekeeler.com. She has an AI teacher toolbox that you definitely want to check out at Educator AI Assistant.com. It not only creates lesson plans, rubrics, but it collects no data. All of her data collection free add-ons are at alicekeeler.com/coded by Alice. You sent me a text the other day that said how many?
37.
37 add-ons. And
It just feels like so many. I can't keep track. I'm like, is it really that many?
yeah, and you start as a math teacher.
I taught myself to code. And now with vibe coding, I'm killing it with the vibe coding. So vibe coding would be that when you use AI to code. So I go to Google Gemini and I'm like, this is what I want. I code Google Workspace, right? So Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides. I know how to code. So my prompts are pretty good. This is what I want the add-on to do. Honestly, Vicki, the other day it was really disappointing because it worked the first time. No edits. I'm like, how boring is that? But it also is like, how quickly can I get out new features and improve the functionality and things that I kind of know about, but I don't know? I can actually incorporate those things really quickly into my add-ons and into my code. So vibe coding is coding with AI. So it took me 2 days to create this AI teacher toolkit. So what I wanted to do is to have something that collects no data. I feel very squishy about all of these products that have seen so popped up over the last year. There's some rumors about some companies just signing whatever the schools give them. But are they? I mean, it's easy to sign something, but what are they really doing with your data? So I want my toolbox to be small. I don't want to sign up for 10,000 different products. So what can I do with Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Forms, stay in the Google ecosystem if you're a Google user? This is the ecosystem you're in. It's in your own Google Drive. You should keep your data with yourself. So what I coded was the ability to it's an add-on for Google Sheets that will allow you to create lesson plans, rubrics, respond to an angry parent, lesson plan simulator that turns your lesson plan into a D&D adventure. Honestly, anything you want, like literally anything you want. IEP writer, Dungeons and Dragons, does any of those things and more because I have a feature that allows you to describe what you want, what tool you want, and it will create the prompt for you and add it into your toolbox. In my particular case, everything is sitting in your Google Drive, in your Sheets. So, I mean, if it's in your Google Drive, we have a lot of PII in our student drive, right?
We do.
All the student work, rosters, everything. Google Classroom has that PII.
Now that vibe coding exists and people can write their own extensions, there are bad actors that can write extensions that can take information. So how do we determine which extensions we really want to trust? And do we just write them ourselves?
I think you should write them ourselves. I mean, it took me 2 days to write this teacher AI toolkit. Now, granted, I have a lot of background knowledge and things that help me to do this. I don't know that your average person with no knowledge could just pull this off tomorrow. But that's what's really exciting is that school districts can look at these tools and be like, we want that, but we want the privacy. They can literally have somebody with honestly very mediocre skills in coding, put one together, distribute it out to the whole school district, and you know it's safe because you made it internally and you publish it. And it's so easy to publish internally. Now, you have to have permissions. Probably as a teacher, you don't have the ability to make a cloud project at your school. So you're going to want to work with your IT department, either get them to do it, because it's insanely simple to do that. We're in a really exciting time of more security because it's really doable. If these companies can pop up overnight, why can't your school district make that themselves and then share it with other school districts? Feels to me like the democratization of ed tech right now. I'm really excited about it.
Programming we've been talking about for years. The rise of citizen programming, which is basically vibe coding, means that by describing an app or a tool that you can create it, adds another layer of what IT departments will do, which is the approval of apps, programs, websites, all of these things to deploy them. Because if you can do that, you can have more safety and more security. But there are some IT departments who say, hey, we're not programmers, we're computer fixers.
Right.
That's got to change.
I think that's true for every job. It's not just the IT department. What does the job of teachers look like moving forward now that we have this democratization of ed tech and all of the things? So I would hope that the IT department is always moving forward because technology moves fast. So what they were doing in the IT department 10 years ago, 15 years ago is obviously not the same today, right? How many of them were writing AI policies 10 years ago? None of them. And I hope they all are now. So let's just assume that's happening. But getting them on board with the citizen coding, with the vibe coding, is that you have people from your community, your school district, contributing to solve your really unique problems and ensure anything you buy is pretty much off the shelf, right? Is not, it addresses your problems, but does it really solve what you need it to do? Now, I'm just doing it with Google Workspace, but of course you can vibe code in anything. You can vibe code Python and different things for whatever your applications are. What could we do if we were to vibe code and create these tools that we know that they're safe because we made them ourselves and worked on them internally? Some of it's going to be too much. I don't know that I'm going to recreate Power School anytime soon, as much as I hate it. But there's a lot of things that we can look at and that's a cool feature. Could we build it internally? Could we band together with some other schools? I know Fresno Unified, and they're a Microsoft school. They're awesome. They do make their own Power School. And so they do it all internally. It's gamified. And so it does happen and it is possible. But Fresno Unified is the third largest school district, I think, in the state of California. So they have a lot of resources, but better yet, if we were to just, make a conglomerate that we work together.
One thing in ISTE that perplexed me, I guess, a little bit is I'm a big one for using the actual direct model. If I'm going to be using Gemini, I'm going to go straight to Gemini and use it. If I'm going to be using Claude, so many of these tools built on top of models, A, they don't tell you which model they're using. B, they don't tell you how they're using the data.
Yep.
And you're not transparent to where is this data going and who's using it. And then you've got the issue of, listen, you and I have known each other a long time and we lived through the Web 2 era. So many apps that we talked about daily in the Web 2 era, including one of them was Wikispaces, bought by Tez and then went away. Daily tools, big players, thinking they're going to be here forever.
Right.
And then they went away.
Right.
And that's going to happen again. And as OpenAI or Gemini or whoever updates these app models, it'll break. And then we start from scratch.
When I connect it up, I put in my code a link that says model name and I put the model name. So it's really easy for me to update which model. So all I literally have to do is swap out, not even a line of code, is just a text string. I have to be actively supporting it, but I hope that you're using tools that are being actively supported anyway. So for example, my add-on template tab, I have 30-something million installs on that. So what that does is it takes your roster of students on the first sheet, and then you design your graphic organizer on the second sheet in Google Sheets. And then it'll replicate your graphic organizer for each student on your roster and put their name on the tab at the bottom. So at some point, Google had changed the way that they handled folders and moving files and some of those things, and so they were depreciated. So I go in and I look at my code, and some things are lined out because they're not supported anymore. So in that case, I did have to update my code, but not because of AI per se, but just because that's how software works.
Your point is really valid. This is helping me understand is that the value of, is this being actively maintained and updated so that you can have access to the new models? So Alice Keeler at alicekeeler.com, what she's great at is helping people become massively efficient with Google Workspace. So if your school is Google Workspace, you should reach out to Alice. She can help you just be a game changer. We're not going to get more people, so we got to get more efficient. We got to streamline admin so that we can free up resources to have more people in the classroom. So thanks for coming on the show, Alice.
Thanks for tuning in to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. Watch the video version of this podcast and catch my new radio and TV show, Cool Cat Teacher Talk, on YouTube and a radio or TV station near you. Join my Cool Cat Teacher Classroom Matters newsletter at coolcatteacher.com/newsletter. Leave a review if you found this helpful. See you later, educator.